All right, so we're getting started in week 8 here. So this is day 1, week 8, out of a 12-week block. We got our sumo throws and sumo throws. I mean, I guess technically it's like a sumo throw if I was laying down. Anyway, supine throw is what I meant. So here we go. We're aiming to yeet this thing across the gutter here, the gutter line, hopefully without actually hitting my gutters. Legs are going to be straight. We got a little 3 sets of 2 here. And I am clearing it each time. Easy peasy. This is how you really test your accuracy right here. We got one more of those. Got the gutter that time. Let's go. All right. Moving to the bench. We are barbell benching, obviously. And we're going to be doing kind of like it's like a mini deload this week. And the purpose of the deload is because we're going into weeks 9 to 12 afterwards, where everything just gets ramped the fuck up. So I just need to make sure that I'm adequately prepared when week 9 gets here. And part of that equation is deloading just a little bit. But like I was about to say, it's not like a true deload where just everything across the board is taking this huge hit and we're just, training at like 50% like all week long. No. It's just like the main KPIs, they get dialed back just a little bit. So for instance, today the bench press is 3 sets of like 4 to 6 because I want to stay in like that general strength rep range of like 5. And so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna climb with 6s, and then when 6 becomes too difficult, I'll go to 5. When 5 becomes difficult, I'll go to 4. But I'm not also trying to get it like 4RM territory. I want it to be relatively easy, which whatever it happens to be. So right now it's looking at about like 255-ish is probably what I'm thinking, because we hit like 265 for 4, but I can't remember what that felt like, and 275 for 3. So I don't know, I can't remember, so we're just gonna kind of play it by ear as we do every single fucking day that we're in here. But anyway, that's the gist. Everything else kind of got toned down just a little bit, like intensifiers in a different way. So I'll get to those when we get to them. For now, we're just gonna go ahead and knock out the empty bar and then 135, and then we'll do quick cuts until we get up to like 255 and kind of see how everything's moving at that point onward. So again, 6 reps all the way up. I took a little pause there on like rep 3 or 4 because I felt like I was like falling off the bench on my right side, oddly enough. So try and lock it down a little bit better as we go up. So sometimes the first couple sets are a little wonky. So again, I'm looking for 4 to 6 reps, and I don't want it to be super difficult, right? So we're trying to stay relatively sub-max. We did 225 for 6, so I'm thinking 245 for 5, and then maybe 255 for 4. Kind of see how that feels. Because again, like I said, I don't remember how 265 for 4 felt. I don't remember if it was hard or not. So, I don't know. Depending on how easy this feels, we might do this one again for 6. And then 255 for 5, and then 265 for 4 again. But we'll see. I stopped at 5 because I almost stopped at 4, but it didn't feel too heavy. So we'll go up one more time and do it for 4. So that'll put us at 255 for 4. That sounds good. When you train, you have the option of things like straight sets, which is just working up to a weight that you can use with good technique and get all of your reps in sub-max. And you do that multiple times across. So, for example, you have like 2-3 warm-up sets to get to an appropriate weight for whatever you're doing. And then you have good technique, RPE 7 to 8-ish by the last repetition. And you do that like 3 or 4 or 5 times in a row. And then you move on. That's kind of like the, arguably kind of like the old school way. I mean, I guess it depends on who you talk to or who you reference, but that's kind of been the original training method for a long time for anybody. And then now, kind of like the hit kick is 1 working set, maybe 2, of getting as close to failure as possible. And that's the way I like to train most of the time. It kind of depends on a multitude of factors because my failure is also not like actual failure. It's more or less like RPE 8 to 9 most of the time, which I know on camera probably looks like it's like RPE 5 or 6, but that's a different conversation in terms of like fiber type and how people can just like immediately burn out on an exercise like right away. Like previous rep looks fine and then they do the next one, it's like immediate stall. But anyway, the reason I brought that up is because for this, you could do, you know, work up to say 225 and then do 3 sets of 4 to 6, whatever you got. Or you could do what I'm doing where I hit a heavy set of 6, 5, and then 4, all kind of within that RPE 8 range, and then just move on. It's also a time saver in that regard. You're not in the gym for nearly as long when you do like the rep max. But you need to be really confident in your technique. You also need to be really good at weight selection. And sometimes the former method, the straight set method, works better for people that don't or can't do that. So, yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and knock this shit out. I've been yapping for too long already. Here we go. I don't even remember how much is on here. What is it, 255? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Memory of a goldfish. That felt pretty good. So, seal row pad is up. We're going to go ahead and get that in position, knock out a few sets here. We're done on bench. So, keep it moving. All right, we are doing this barehanded. Oh. Oh. Yeah, not too bad barehanded. It's 80 pounds. You're gonna do it for 3 sets of 8. I'm gonna keep the straps off just because grip is fine, so I don't really need to worry about it. We'll stay there for 2 more sets, and then we're gonna break out the bench for incline. We got those 1.5 reps again, so but we'll stay focused on this for now, and then arm stuff at the very end, and then we're done. It's a super short workout. But anyway, quick rest. We got 2 more of these. Oh. One more. Jeez. All right, last one. Starting to feel the grip constraints a little bit, but we got it. We got it. Oh. All right, we're gonna break out the incline bench now, and it's gonna be a high incline, so 30 degrees. We're doing those 1.5 reps again. I think for 7 reps, I believe. And we're gonna bring the dumbbells down to 70 pounds, down from 80 that we just used for the rows. So just because I remember 70 being pretty challenging by itself, so we'll keep it there because we're bumping up the reps by 1. So let's go. All right, this is 1.5 reps, by the way, for 7. Starting from the top. Wow. 70 felt pretty good. So for 2 more sets, I think we can stay there. I feel like it'd be a good, good decision. I don't know if 75's in the cards, and 80 probably isn't either. So. There we go, set number 2. I don't know if you guys noticed either, but recently, when dumbbell benching over here, I had to put the seat up because in my traditional setup, which I normally use for incline over here, I slip over here. There's these dumbass tiles on the garage floor here. They're like no traction at all. So I had to put the seat up just to avoid sliding all over the place. So anyway, if anyone was curious why the seat is suddenly up, that's why. Ugh. All right, we're gonna get into our arm stuff now. So we're gonna start with tricep press downs. I'm gonna do like a set of like 6 to 10, somewhere in that range. And we're gonna rest pause it. So I'm gonna do two rest pauses and see what we can total. And then we'll do the same thing for arms at the end, which I'm probably gonna do hammer curls because it's a weak spot of mine. So let's go ahead and get that shit set up. And I'll take you all along for the ride. It's gonna be a single shot, no cuts. And yeah, let's fucking get it, dude. We're almost done. All right, so this is a pretty straight shot. It's gonna be 6 to 8 reps and then 2 drops for max reps. Oh. Ah. Ah. 8. We chill out for a little bit, and then we're gonna go for broke. So that first set is not to failure. It's just 6 to 8, somewhere in there. And then you got about 12 seconds left here, and now we're gonna go to failure. And we rest 30 more. We go to failure again. 3, 2, 1. Six. We're gonna chill out for 30 more seconds and go to failure again. Ooh. Normally when I do the rest pauses, I'm looking for like half of the reps that I got prior, like at least. So here, going into this last one, I want like 3. That would be great. Ideal, obviously, is anything above 3. All right, let's go. Got to 5. Cool. So now we do the same thing for biceps, which we're doing hammer curls for. So, nice. Okay, so now we're doing the same thing, just with hammer curls here. Quick 30 seconds, which will put us at about 18 after. Same deal. I'll probably be able to get 8 again because that didn't feel as heavy as the push downs did. So we'll see. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going for broke this time. Couldn't quite get 10 there, but we did get 9. Same deal. We're gonna go failure one more time. So now on an odd number like 9, I normally aim low. So give me 4. Obviously anything above 4 is fucking great. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. And 7. Oh God. Let me put these up. Jeez. All right, so it was a good first session of week 8. Like I had mentioned earlier in this video, weeks 9 through 12 is going to get a little crazy, which I have to look over one more time just to make sure I didn't go too crazy, because I don't know if I said this before, but even when I was going into week 5, I looked back over the program to make sure that everything in 5 at least made sense on paper. Obviously, there's some things that you don't know how they're going to pan out until you actually do them. But, you just want to look it over on paper and be like, does everything I put in here before I started make sense? And if it does, then cool. If not, you make some logistical changes. And then, again, like you don't know if something works until you actually do it. So we'll do that again prior to going into 9. And the end of this block is coming up quick, man. Then we'll get into our conjugate block for the summer, or for like late spring into summer. And you guys will get a taste of all the max effort and dynamic effort shit that we get to get into. That shit's always fun. And just for the record, the only blocks that are really different, because I'll do conjugate blocks basically throughout the year, but I do one sprint block a year, which is what you guys are witnessing right now. And then I normally do like a bodybuilding specific program in the winter. Sometimes a little bit before the winter, because I like to do like 2 conjugate blocks, and then the bodybuilding block, and then the sprint block, normally when New Year's rolls around. So because you get about 4 total blocks a year with deloads. So 2 conjugate blocks, the bodybuilding block, and the sprint block. That's basically how I train year round. The conjugate blocks are usually that summer, fall block, and the bodybuilding in the winter, sprint in the spring. And that's just a system that I found works really well. And that keeps me entertained throughout the year because I'm not doing the same shit year round. But anyway, it's a little off topic. Tomorrow, we got our first of 2 sprint days. And my stupid umbrella broke. So I just got to make sure I coat up the sunscreen for tomorrow because I'm not going to have any shade. Either that or I just go earlier, try to avoid the sun. We'll see. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. And I'll catch you in the next video. Adios.